Hey, what's going on, everyone, and welcome back to Rite-Way Detailing's YouTube channel. I appreciate you guys tuning into this video. So this is going to be the first video in our how-to series playlist on our channel. So if you haven't, this is your first time seeing Rite-Way Detailing, make sure you hit that subscribe button, hit the like button, let us know what you think. And then that will also allow you, once you subscribe, go to our channel, and then there will be a series of videos coming shortly. This will be the first one, like I said, on the how-to. So if you want to get some how-to tips and tricks on how to do different things on your vehicle, which this one will be how to remove your vehicle's emblems, and then we'll also have a couple vehicle specific ones, and then we'll have some other things like polishing, clay barring, what's this, what's that in the detailing world, and also different little customization pieces on like how to paint certain things. So we got a lot of exciting content coming your way in the automotive category. So let's get into today's video. So what we're doing is, like I said, we're doing how to remove your vehicle's emblems. Now, there are a lot of really good videos on Instagram, but I just thought, on YouTube, sorry. I thought that we would put our twist on how we do things. Pretty much there's different ways to do it. Mostly it's just going to range on type of heat gun, type of material used to remove the emblem, of course, like chemicals, eraser wheels like you see here. So in our arsenal of how to remove your vehicle's emblem, this is how Rite-Way Detailing does it. So first thing that you're going to need, and I would recommend, is you can use a standard extension cord, but I like to use a nice protected one, a nice thick gauge. I forget the actual gauge rating on this, but it is a lot thicker than the gauge of extension that comes out of the heat gun itself. So it's a little bit thicker gauge, and then plug it into a good outlet source. You don't want to plug this into like if you had an actual like extension block like plugged in there and it's over here on that workbench, for example. You don't really want to do that. It will work, but you just want to be safe. Make sure you have a nice thick gauge, plug it into a good outlet source. That's just for safety reasons. So, and then next step would be a heat gun itself. So we got this Porter cable here. Let me see if we can actually zoom in on the model number for you so you can see. GoPro's not really zooming in that well, so I'll put the model number below in the description or the show more box. So you need a good outlet source, a thick gauge extension cord, that's 1 and 2, and then thirdly your Porter cable heat gun, or we have different models and stuff like that, like a Wagner down here. So there's other heat guns you can purchase. Don't get a heat gun for like $10, so that's ridiculous. You can just use your hair dryer if you want to save some money. So but if you're going to purchase a heat gun, get a nice one. Next step would be, this is in the removal category as well. So this would be your 3M eraser wheel. This is going to be removal of the adhesive. So the heat gun is meant to heat the emblem up and get the adhesive hot, and then this is one of the other steps would be your 3M eraser wheel. Now what I'm showing right now is not necessarily in the steps of how to remove. This is just the materials you'll need. So outlet source, extension cord, heat gun, eraser wheel by 3M. Model number should be right there. This is just a type of rubber that goes into the female end of your drill. You tighten it down real good, and then I will show how to actually use that. So eraser wheel, cordless drill, or you can have a corded drill, doesn't really make a difference. Then this is a big tip from us. So normally you'll see dental floss and fishing line, but the thing that people don't tell you a lot of times is the type that they use. So a lot of times when you wrap the fishing line or dental floss around your fingers and then actually go back and forth on the emblem, pulling to saw the, release the emblem from the adhesive backing, it snaps a lot due to the heat and then the pressure you're applying. So use a braided fishing line. This is just one I picked up from Walmart, very inexpensive, and I think 200 yards, so it's a lot of fishing line, so you'll be able to do a lot of jobs with this. So braided fishing line, 40 pounds. This one has been one of the better ones that I've used. And then next step would be your adhesive removal as well. The chemical you would use, this just helps break down the adhesive itself if there's like some splatter and stuff. So normally we will actually spray a tiny bit on the adhesive, let it sit for 30 seconds, and then go ahead and get in there with the eraser wheel and then wipe it down with this to get the rest of the adhesive off. And then also, if you want, you can use like a wrap glove or a gardening glove, things like that, mechanic's glove, to put on your hands just to protect yourself from the heat if you're touching it a lot, or to really, if you want to wrap around your fingers like we're going to do to avoid any pain or things like that. You can use gloves. That's just, a helpful thing. I don't like to use them that often, but if you want to kind of avoid abrading your fingers and getting the red lines in them and kind of having it sting, you can cut yourself, but it's very rare that that happens. That's just a little tip if you want to do that. So just really quick, a quick recap. Good outlet source, number 1. Thick gauge extension cord, number 2. Heat gun, number 3. Fishing line, number 4. corded or cordless drill. Number 5. Number 6 would be your 3M eraser wheel. Number 7 would be an adhesive remover chemical. And then number 8 would be your glove if you need that. So what we're going to do right now is actually show how to remove. So you saw the materials we use, and right now we have basically a display trunk to work on because this trunk was actually damaged on the CTS-V we have over here. So we're going to go ahead and work on those. We're going to get the V off, and we're going to do the CTS emblem itself. This one's a little bit different. There are 2 pins in the back holding it, so that is one thing to keep in mind. It's not super common anymore where they actually have a pinned in emblem where there's actually holes in the metal itself or plastic. It's very rare, but I would search that up depending on your make and model. Sometimes there could be a video if there is something, but I'm just letting you know on the CTS-V coupe, I know for in fact that there are 2 holes in the back there that hold that emblem in, but these 2 you're good to take off. Normally you would never take this off unless you're actually going to be having a custom billet emblem made like we have here. So that will be in a separate video. We'll be doing a how to remove your third brake light and also this emblem. So the emblem we're going to worry about today is the V, the CTS. I'm also going to do these V's as well. So there's a bunch of emblems. You already saw these ones on the CTS, but all the V emblems are going to be removing off this car. So let's go ahead and get into how to actually remove it. So you saw the materials, let's remove these emblems. Okay everyone, so what we're going to do is work on taking this CTS emblem off. So let's go ahead and zoom in over here and see what we're doing. We got the Porter cable heat gun. You're going to flip it on to setting number 2. Now I don't have an accurate reading of how much heat you want on this. This is kind of funny, it's a different adjustment, but basically just wait until the heat gun's kind of warm. Keep your hand about a foot away, and you're going to get in here on the emblem itself, and what we're doing is going to be releasing the emblem from the adhesive. So this will warm the adhesive just enough that we can get our fishing line in there and pull the emblem or saw it away. So you're going to be about 3 to 4 inches. Don't get it right on the emblem because you can heat the paint up too much and that can cause some damage. So you just want to gradually touch the paint here. If you touch real quick and you have to immediately pull your hand off, you're getting it way too hot. So you want to be about 3 to 4 inches away. I do have a lot of experience doing this, so I know, where I need to be placing it. So I would say about 3 to 4 inches away. Just gradually going back and forth. If you have a larger emblem, you can work on one little piece at a time. Just heat it up, work that S off, because they are separated. They're not together. So okay, now the emblem is warm enough. We're going to take our fishing line, and just so you can kind of see in video, this is probably about 3 feet. So that is just enough, and what we're going to do, we're going to show right here, is you can go around both fingers. I kind of like to do just one finger, but wrap it around about 5 or 6 times. Wrap it around 5 or 6 times. And we're going to come in here. So what you want to do is get in behind this emblem like this, if you could see, and then you're literally going to pull towards the back this way, so go back, and then you're just gonna basically saw through the adhesive. So it will show you right now, and it literally comes off like butter. So be careful. I would use your glove at this point if you don't want to actually let the thing drop. There are some heavier emblems if they actually drop off. Now this is pretty warm, so please be careful. You pull it off, it comes right off nicely. You can see there the adhesive. Go ahead and keep moving. We got it warm enough to where this should just come off like butter. So just saw right through with the braided line. As you can see, I'm actually giving it a nice good tug and it's not snapping off. So just be careful. I would use a right hand glove right now because this can be very, very hot. You do not want to burn yourself. I've gotten it very hot before and it's pretty bad. So, but don't worry about it too much. Just put a glove on real quick when you're getting ready to do this. But see, it comes off like butter. If you heat it nicely, keep it about 3 to 6 inches away, heat it for about 20 seconds back and forth. It will allow the emblem to come off nicely. And I'm not pulling crazy hard because I don't want this to fly off if this was on a customer's vehicle. And then just pull right there and then pull this off. So at that point, they come off cleanly enough. They're not damaged. They're not bent. So if you actually, I don't know, wanted to plasti dip these or something and put them back on, you can do that. I know they sell them everywhere already made. So these are clean. Even if you want to maybe put them back in line and you know, put them on your fridge or something, you can do that because they're not damaged. That should be the correct way for them to actually be removed and come off nicely. You don't want to damage them. So if you're going to actually remove these to like get a serious paint correction off this, you know, you don't want to get them too hot and bend them. So we got them off perfectly. So if they wanted to be reinstalled for doing a full correction, that is the best way to do it. So you can see everything's clean. The emblems are nice. They're not all messed up. So let's go ahead and get into how to get this adhesive off properly. Okay, so next step is going to be, this is just the way I like to do things. So like I said, rapid remover, or if you can find this, I get this at a local body shop. This is a safe way to remove adhesive, and you'll see here once we actually go into buzzing it off with the eraser wheel itself. This helps just remove all that stuff, and then any kind of tiny bit of shadowing, just adhesive shadowing, not actual paint shadowing. So that's a different type of video if you need to remove the shadowing. But so what you want to do is go ahead, give this is just the way I like to do it. Just give it a quick squirt on there, 2 little sprays. That will kind of help release the adhesive. It's going to sit there. You want to let it sit for about 30 seconds. So let's go ahead and wait on that. Okay, so quickly, just take your rag right before you start, and then just on the opposite sides of the emblem, just get the rest of the spray off. I just spray that real quick because it kind of softens up the adhesive a little bit more. And then what we're going to do is this eraser wheel, you don't want to take it like this or like that. You kind of want to get it on the side like this, and you want to do it easy speed. You don't want to be pulling the trigger all the way. So let's make sure it's tightened down. We're going to get in here on this S, and you can see the tilt range that I have on it. I don't have it down like this because you don't want to knock into your paint. I don't have it down like this. I hold the drill, so you can see how I'm holding the drill. I hold the drill basically at 90 degrees this way. We're going to go nice and slow. This will not damage the paint. Don't put a lot of pressure. Just let the tool do the work for you. Now this does make a little bit of a mess. And if you see a little bit of smoking, that's just the rubber coming off of the tool itself. It's not getting extremely hot. So the thing to remember is I can touch right now. I'm holding my finger. So if you're getting worried that the paint's getting hot or anything like that, don't worry. It's not getting too warm. You don't want to dig into the paint itself. You'll be able to feel a nice angle to where the drill won't be fighting or anything. So just lightly go over it. Now this is plenty. I'm just going to lightly take off anything. Don't worry if the drill's making a little bit of noise. Just lightly take that adhesive off. So if you want a little bit more of the technique on this, I can make a video on just the eraser wheel itself, because it's kind of an in-job thing when you're working on it to kind of understand. But like I said, if that adhesive is right here like before, that's how I'm holding the drill. And then this one is kind of wobbled out a little bit because I've used it so much. But you basically find that point slowly. You want to get right onto the adhesive. I'm not on the paint right now, but you want to get right onto the adhesive. I'm just showing the drill spinning. You get right on the adhesive, and then you'll be able to speed it up and kind of work the adhesive off with no pressure. Don't be pushing hard into the paint because that will create too much heat and you can damage your clear coat. You just want to be real nice and easy with it. You know, kind of going up and down, up and down, up and down, speeding up a little bit, up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down, until all the adhesive comes off. So at this point, this is where the main purpose of the spray comes in. So rapid remover or this Auto Tech, you're going to want to spray it on there. And you can wear a rubber glove, put a rubber glove on your hand. This just helps activate it, but I'm just going to do it real quick with my hand. I'm not really worried about it. So I can see a little piece right here. You don't want to be digging your nail. That little eraser tool is designed specifically for this purpose. If you use your nail to scrape stuff off, you're going to be scratching your paint guaranteed. So right here, we're just going to wipe. There's a good little piece. Now this, where your rag comes in, that will give a nice buffing point. You do not want to keep scratching with your nail or anything like that. That really starts to scratch your paintwork. So there's a little piece of adhesive right there. We're going to go right here, wipe that off. So you can see this is an older paint job. So there is a decent amount of shadowing. At this point, that's where doing the paint correction will come into play, and you can do it by hand. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab a detail spray really quick with a new, fresh, clean rag. just spray around this area. Any overspray or any rubber stuff that flew off or any of the adhesive remover, you want to get that off. You don't want to let it sit on there forever. A few minutes is just fine. It's not going to hurt anything. But, you want to clean up your panel as you're working. So clean it all up, wipe it down with a good detail spray or spray wax, whatever you want to do. And as you can see in here, there is no more adhesive. Now there is some shadowing going on, very faint, but I can see it clearly with these lights. So you can see it, very, very clean removal. That is exactly how you want to do your emblem removal. You want to have the correct tools to do the job. Use that braided line, everything. Go back to the video if you need to have a quick refresh of what we were using, but you saw there. So just heating it up correctly, not getting the paint too hot. Those are just tiny little gold nuggets in the video of, touch the panel. Okay, good. We're not getting the paint too hot. Take it off the way we did it. Use that trim adhesive removal and that eraser tool. If you purchase all this stuff, it might be a small little investment, but listen, you'll be able to take off all the emblems on your car with ease. You'll be able to do all the stuff on your own, and every other vehicle you have that you'll purchase if you want to do emblem removal or make a little bit of side cash. It's a worthy investment. It pays for itself, and there's so many purposes with the heat gun and the drill and all that. I mean, most of the time if you're working into these videos, I'm sure you already have a drill and stuff because you work on your car and you're seeing how to do stuff. So we're going to go ahead and continue the process. We're going to get all the V's off, but that is how you remove your emblem. So right now I'm going to go ahead and get some compound and clean that up, and we'll wrap up this video. Okay, so kind of a last step if you want to do this, which I do recommend, but we're just going to do it by hand for the, at-home DIY. But if you do have like a Rupes or a Porter cable, you can use that dual action polisher and actually get a 3-inch attachment from Chemical Guys and put that on there. Use their 3-inch pad and a good compound swirl removal. Follow that up with a nice finishing polish, and that will pretty much do the job. Now, there are other cases where you might have to do a little bit of sanding, but that's more at the real high-end professional level. Well, we will get into stuff like that. We'll actually have a how-to video series for getting into the detailing business and stuff like that. All the stuff that we've learned a lot over the past 5 years that we've been in business doing this, and way before that we were detailing. So I've been able to learn a lot, work on a lot of different crazy projects that most people don't get into after maybe 10 years of being in business. We've been able to be very blessed to have types of jobs that have given us access to that, and actually learning from other detailers who have been in the business for like 30 years. So what we're going to do is really quick is I just got some Menzerna Super Finish 3500. It's a high gloss swirl remover. It's kind of a finishing polish. Put about a pea-sized dot, spread it around, and let's go ahead and zoom in on here. Just kind of want to spread it in real quick. You can use your typical stuff that most people would relate to would be like Meguiar's Ultimate Polish or Ultimate Compound. Now, this shadowing is pretty deep in here, so you would need to, if this is a show car or something like that, especially because this is black, you're really going to see it. But if you just work on this, it will come out, I would say 85-90% perfect. No one's going to notice it unless they really know what they're looking at in actual paint correction itself. Just doing this by hand will be plenty for about 95% of you. So just doing this by hand. So Meguiar's Ultimate Compound and then Ultimate Polish is absolutely perfect. So you just want to work it in circles real quick. Just work where that area is. So this will be plenty just for the video. This is just for video's sake, but follow it up, Ultimate Compound, Ultimate Polish, or just work with the polish itself. You work it in here, it will definitely clear it up. So I don't even see the CTS outlining anymore. So that's perfect. So what we're going to do, set the rag down, get a high pile rag like this, and just take off the polishing residue. And actually, that took it off perfectly. There's no more CTS. So having a good compound or polish, taking it off by hand, you don't need to purchase the $350 or $125 machine. Most of that can be done by hand. So you can see there, light shining down on it, no more CTS. So last thing I would do is just use a spray wax, or in this case, we'll just use our Ceramic Pro Care. Couple sprays on there. And then I'll grab another high pile rag right here, flip it to a clean side real quick, and then just wipe the panel clean. So that will remove any polishing residue, and then at that point that will protect, because when you take that off, if this was all waxed, this no longer will be protected because there's no emblem there. So you want to go ahead and protect that real quick. Everything's nice and slick. It's protected. It looks beautiful. There's no more. So that's the way your install should look. I mean, not install. That's the way your removal should look. Sorry about that. So there's no more CTS. As you can see, there's no more adhesive. The panel looks beautiful. Looks like it was never there. So that's the goal. You want to make sure that emblem was never ever apparent again. You want to make sure it looks perfect, that it came this way from the factory. So that is the correct way to do things. So if you have any more questions, feel free to follow us on Instagram. You can DM us there. You can also leave a comment below. You know, if you want to put in your email address, we'd be happy to contact you if you want to contact us. Most of the time, our email and information is down below. But, you know, if you're going to contact us, make sure it's about stuff like this. And then we can go ahead and help you out with that. If you're having issues or things like that, we'd be happy to help you out. So you can see emblem right there. No more emblem. So hopefully this was a insightful how-to video for you guys. Like I said, if you have any more questions or if there's any, you know, things you would like to see more about how to remove the emblem, we can make another video and address those different little issues you may have had. But I think that we outlined pretty much the basics and the techniques of how to do it. Now, there are different cases where you might have bigger emblems and stuff, but a CTS like that, that's not a crazy emblem. It's very easy to remove and leaves a real nice, clean, custom look. Kind of, you know, if you want to be a sleeper, you could take off all the V and everything like that, and then people won't know what you have. So, you know, it's really cool. And then also, if you remove cleanly like that, we'll make another video on actual template replacement. So if you, you know, get like CTS or 5.0, different emblems that are really popular and you want to replace them with like a gloss black or a different color, we can do a video on that as well. So that'll be a separate video. So this was a video to wrap up on how to remove your emblems properly from your vehicle. So hopefully we addressed everything perfectly. And then make sure you go back into the beginning of the video so you can see the materials that we use. And like I said, if you have questions and then maybe want to know a little bit different models that you might want to buy, if you have, you know, you want to hear our opinion on the heat gun to buy, like I said, Porter cable is perfect. Wagner, you can go to your local hardware store, like Lowe's, Home Depot, Ace, or if you're in different states, I'm sure there's other stuff if you don't have one of those near you that would have a heat gun. You can even use a hair dryer. That works just as good. This is just quick, easy. You turn it on, it gets hot immediately. You don't have to wait forever. It's very quick, very efficient because it's an industrial tool. You can also use a hair dryer as well. So it's not really, you're just trying to heat the adhesive, like I said, release the emblem from the adhesive and then take it off like we did. So if you enjoyed this video, please hit that like button and also subscribe to our YouTube channel, hit the notifications bell so you can be notified when we post more videos. And we once again really appreciate you tuning in, and we will see you guys on the next video.